Bitcoin, crypto, markets are on edge. The Fed meeting is today. Our future will be decided. The most important Fed meeting of your life since the last one. We got a lot to talk about. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all kinds of stuff. Lots of big news right across space. Let's get into it. Answering your questions second half of the stream, as always. So let's go. The mid-curve take. I should take more risks. I should take more risks. I should wait for the perfect time. Classic. Classic. The Fed meeting's at 2 o'clock today. The decision is at 2 o'clock. So that's still quite a few hours away. Okay, U.S. markets aren't even open yet. They don't open for the 2.5 hours. So later today, we'll find out what the heck is going on. Okay, it's going to be a little while. But markets are saying a 25 basis point rate cut is almost certain. Is it a guarantee? No, but it's almost certain. Prediction markets think you're giving like a 96% chance or something like that. Some people are saying, oh, what if he does 50 basis point cuts? I don't know if Jerome's going to do that. Seems a bit too much, to be honest. But let's see. We'll see what plays out over the next day here. But it is Fed day. It is Fed day. High chance we get another 25 basis points cut. We're going to get another 25 basis points in December, 75 basis points in total for the end of the year. That makes a difference. That means I'll start speculating what's going to happen in 2026, of course. Great. Good times, guys. So let's go ahead and keep going. Bitcoin is dumping, but we have the Powell speaking today. The Powell. Why'd I put that in there? This is from Xerox Gumshoe. Dump to liquidate the longs, make CME gap fill dudes happy, recover during the night, move back up tomorrow with Powell speaking rate cut. Let's see. It's interesting. So far, just classic crypto shit, man. Classic crypto shit. Once again, stock futures in the green. 0.2% today. The S&P 500 literally hit a new all-time high yesterday. Probably going to be at 7,000 in not so distant future. Now, maybe we have a bit of a sell the news after the rate cut and after the Trump-Xi deal on Thursday, which is tomorrow, which hopefully happens. Let's see how it all plays out. But, man, stocks have been wild. Absolutely wild. Crypto has been struggling ever since the October 10th crash. And we were struggling a bit before that, to be fair. But definitely since the October 10th crash, things have been pretty rough in the cryptocurrency market. Been a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. We've been slower to catch up to these massive moves in the equity market right now. Bitcoin ETFs, another $200 million in yesterday. Not the biggest of days. Yeah, sure. But that's still 350 million inflows so far this week. Have a quick look at the Ethereum inflows too. By the way, we have Solana ETFs now too. 250 million into ETH yesterday. ETH has actually had almost 400 million, maybe about 20, 30 million ahead of Bitcoin ETFs so far this week. Wall Street's buying ETH. Now, a similar flow of, let's say just 350 million. Say it's not, but let's just say 350 million. 350 million into Bitcoin, not bad. Doesn't move the needle very much. 350 million into ETH has a much bigger impact because it is 1/5 the market cap of Bitcoin. So this would be like the equivalent of $1.5 billion of the Bitcoin being bought. It's impactful, okay? And of course, we do have Solana ETFs now. Doesn't look like any of them are listed yet. Don't have much down. Here we go. They got the Bitwise one, got the Grayscale one. 70 million. We're going to come back to that in a few minutes, talking about the Solana ETFs. We do have that now tracking as well. This is an interesting one. Now, look, I have no idea how much of a chance this actually has to pass. Okay, let's see. But France is considering a bill to accumulate 2% of Bitcoin's total supply. The bill proposes the acquisition of 420,000 BTC over the next 7 to 8 years using hydropower to mine the Bitcoin. Now, the problem with that, France, is that there's not that much. I mean, there is that much Bitcoin left to be mined. But the problem is you're probably not going to mine 25 for 30% of the remaining Bitcoin. You guys have to seriously pick your game up. That would be wild if they actually were able to do that. Can they mine 42,000 Bitcoin over the next 7 to 8 years? Yeah. 420,000? Nah. And look, such a bill, will it pass? I have no idea. It's probably just one of those wishful thinking things. But regardless, they're talking about it. That's big news. Joe Consorti, Bitcoin's 90-day volatility has been this low, just 7.76% of its history, exclusively during late bear market phases. Is this a late bear market phase? Answer that question. Think about it. or early bull market phases. Early bull market phases, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Interesting. Some ancient crypto astronaut theorists believe that the bull market has not even really begun yet. It has begun. It's been going on for a long time, but perhaps the biggest phase of it still to come. The coiled spring is very, very real. I dig it, Joe. I dig it. Bitcoin price right now, not a lot happening. This is fine. Volumes, again, have been low on this move, as I was flagging for you guys yesterday. The move doesn't have a lot of strength with it, okay? Volumes have been low. Market does not believe in what's going on right here. We have, however, since the low, if you look at this, put in a high here, low here. What do we get here? A new higher high, higher low, potentially down here on the 20-day EMA. You can see the high back here. This was just by a little bit, by the way, not by a lot, okay? But just some perspective here, a new uptrend likely starting, okay? So if we put this here like that, price today came back down to the trend line. You want to see it defend that trend line. You want to see it defend the 20-day EMA, okay? That's important. That happens, that works out, fine, great, good stuff. If we lose the 20-day EMA decisively here for Bitcoin, probably nothing great comes of that in the short term. But let's see how it plays out. So far, constructive on the charts, I would say. 20-day EMA retest, if we get a good news from Powell today, that gives us the room for a likely bounce to come into play here. The Bitcoin long still open. A little bit of profits given back on the unrealized profit and loss here on that trade, but it is still open. Like I said, they've moved the stop loss up to $110,000. So maybe we get knocked out in volatility around the Fed meeting. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Say la vie if so. Solana long, of course, still just chilling there. By the way, if you enjoy me trading over in BitUnix, today is one of the last days to claim that $700 deposit bonus, guys. Put in $2,000, get 400 back, 5,500, 10,000 bucks, give me $700 cash money back. Crazy trading bonuses, plus, of course, you're giving away $1,000 every live stream. It's a live stream today. We're giving away $1,000. No KYC, no VPN, no BS. If you want to start trading over in BitUnix, long, short, all the top coins. They list all kinds of exotic altcoins as well. Link down below, okay? So we asked our old buddy Grok here to grok it up. Took about just a little bit over a minute this time. Here we go. This dude put in 2,000 bucks, got his 400 back, and get an extra 500 on top of that. 175-861-154. Congratulations on the win. And the other winner here, this guy here. Put in about 3,800 bucks. Got a nice $400 bonus already. Extra $500 bonus coming on top of that. Congratulations to today's winners. Grok is really favoring people at the early part of the list. Very interesting. It's all randomized. Grok's just randomly choosing a lot of people near the start of the list. Anyway, continuing. eCoin Metrics shared an interesting one here. Ethereum is trading at a 42% discount relative to Bitcoin. Fascinating, isn't it? That's what you get when modeling Ethereum's fair value based on its historical relationship to Bitcoin's price. If you believe the Ethereum ETFs can attract capital anywhere near the Bitcoin ETFs having done so, ETH looks like a bargain, at least as a mean reversion trade. And we just talked about that, right? They had similar total dollar flows of ETFs this week, but it has a 5x bigger impact on ETH. Hasn't really reflected on the prices yet. We need Tom Lee to buy some more, man. Holy cow. Plus, we need less of this to happen. ETHZilla sold $40 million in Ethereum, which is a drop in the bucket. Remember, we just had about 380 million or so in inflows into ETH ETFs in the last 2 days. So this doesn't really make any difference, to be honest. But man, some of the digital asset treasury companies are already capitulating their bags, man. It has not taken very long. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, man. Now, look, this was always going to happen. I feel like the ETH, or not the ETH, but all the digital asset treasury companies have like speed run the bullshit, essentially. A few of them, I think, have really good potential, like BitMine, obviously MicroStrategy is the king of digital asset treasury companies, but a lot of these are going to run into a lot of trouble. The money funding these things has kind of dried up a little bit. So now they have to find new creative ways to find money, to keep buying the assets, to keep the price up, to keep the MNAV up. We've seen acquisitions. Strive bought, what's their names? Semler Scientific. They fully ported the acquisition of that entire company to get their Bitcoin. So it's interesting. It's interesting what's going on in digital asset treasury space. A lot of these altcoin digital asset treasury companies, they're going to get wrecked, man. A few of the ones for the big coins, you know, the ETH, the XRP, Solana, stuff like that, you'll see, I think, clear winners form up for all those, and those will probably do well enough long term. But a lot of these smaller ones, man, they're going to struggle. Meanwhile, by the way, this is a Bitcoin treasury company. They sold $110 million, about 1,000 Bitcoin. Sold $110,000 worth of BTC. Interesting. So we are seeing a little bit of capitulation on some of these digital asset treasury companies. ETH right now chilling just below the 20-day EMA, man. Now, your bullish hopium on this chart is that what do we have here? We had a breakout. Not a huge volume on the breakout. We had a breakout from this triangle pattern. Prices now come back down to retest the top of that triangle. Technically a bullish retest. Just have to get back with that 20-day EMA, man. Steve, I just want to get back to my entry so I can make life-changing gains. I don't even want profits anymore. Just go back to my entries. I know how you feel, man. You and everybody else in the altcoin market, it has been brutal, especially when we're sitting here watching stocks, you know, do their new paradigm of money bullshit right now. It's been rough. Don't get me wrong. Now, let's see how it plays out. Obviously, again, the whole crypto market sold off in anticipation of the Fed meeting today. Risking off in advance of that's not uncommon, so fine. What I want to see with the next couple of days, us getting back above these key EMAs, okay? That would say if the trend is actually on and that we're moving in the right direction here, okay? Solana, oh my gosh, the Solana news today, man. Jason Pizzino says Bitcoin most likely will not make it to the end of the 2020s, meaning Bitcoin won't have a higher market cycle top till the end of the 2020s, basically a higher low. I have not seen his analysis on that. I can't really have an opinion without looking at the entirety of what he's said here and his whole idea and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna pass on making a statement on that. But it's an interesting contrarian take. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Solana, huge news. Western Union, the world's largest money transfer business, building stable coins exclusively on Solana. What? What? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I know what you're thinking. Wait a second. Didn't Western Union used to have a partnership with XRP? They did. They did. And this is one thing, one of my criticisms of XRP has been for a while, and we're not hating on XRP, it's just been my criticism of it. Back in 2017, when I first bought XRP, the use case was very clear. Like, oh shit, yeah, they're going to do all that cool stuff and, you know, great. Basically, they were talking about the stablecoin market before stablecoins were even really a damn thing back then. Problem is now in 2025, why would you choose XRP Ledger over building on Solana and using USDC for a fraction of a penny on a much bigger network with a much bigger network effect? Many more wallets, 65 million daily transactions or something on Solana, most used blockchain, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting, isn't it? Perspective. Big news for Solana, of course. XRP holders right now. Classic meme. Bitwise's spot Solana ETF BSOL recorded $70 million in first day inflows, nearly 480% higher than the 12 million recorded by SSK on its debut. That's the Rex Osprey one. So a lot of demand here coming in for Solana ETFs in the first day. And they think, oh, it's $70 million. That's not that big. It's not bad. That ain't bad, man, for an ETF that was essentially launched with zero fanfare. Basically just like, oh, and it's on the market now. Think about it. Give this a few months. We could see some real inflows starting to happen here into Solana. And again, Solana has a market cap that's about, what, quarter of Ethereum's right now, approximately. So if you, again, extrapolate that out, this would be the equivalent of $280 million of inflows into Ethereum. Okay, if you take by market cap size as a percentage of coins being bought here, that's not bad, man. It's not a bad start. Plus, tomorrow we get the Grayscale Solana Trust switching over to a Grayscale Solana ETF. That also means we get sell pressure. Now, the Solana Grayscale Trust is nowhere near as big as the ETH or BTC ones were, so it's going to be a lot less sell pressure, but you will have some sell pressure from people exiting out of their Grayscale Trust via the ETF product. So you're going to have to contend a bit with that. Hopefully get a few more ETF products listed for Solana in the near future so we can have a little more options for people to buy. I mean, you got to remember, like Franklin Templeton and Fidelity and some of these like super big players have previously applied for Solana ETFs, and they're probably going to get Solana ETFs very, very soon, okay? Upcoming altcoin, this is from Coinbear, upcoming altcoin ETFs, quoting JP Morgan, could draw $14 billion in inflows. XRP ETFs might top $8 billion. Solana ETFs, $6 billion within 12 months. Not bad, man. Not bad. Interesting. Look, if we get $6 billion for Solana ETF inflows, that's huge. That's an absolutely massive, massive number. And if we get a mania coming at some point for crypto, you could even see that number being bigger. Let's see how it plays out, but that's, you know, these are bullish numbers. Solana, of course, chilling right here. 2 ETFs listed. This is what it looks like on the day. Anyway, as we mentioned yesterday, move was lacking significant volume coming in here to the 50-day EMA. We did get rejected there. Bulls need to keep us above the 20-day EMA and ideally get us back above that 50-day EMA, right around $202 right now. Sooner than later, okay? Sooner than later. Nice bounce so far today. Looking a bit better than some of the other charts, let's say. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on how this plays out here for Solana. But the pressure is coming in. We're going to get a lot of buy pressure from those ETFs. You just watch. Once we get the Grayscale stuff washed out, should be ready to go. 20-day EMA, that's key. We're chilling there right now. Let's see how it plays out by the end of the day after the Fed news. This is big news for AVAX, which I don't hold anymore. Really, just my portfolio, man. Just is making it much smaller, much more high conviction bets. You know, over the last week, I haven't bought that many coins. What did I buy over the last week? Bought some Pump Fund, bought some Solana, bought some more Athena, actually. Anyway, sold my AVAX a little while ago, but still, big things keep happening on AVAX, man. Just the demand has not been there for the token. That's the hard part, isn't it? The demand has just not been there for AVAX tokens. Even the digital asset treasury companies that are launched for AVAX literally bought OTC discounted tokens straight from the AVAX Foundation, which is fine. It's fine to do, but didn't create a lot of buy pressure on the market. Should have. They put in $1 billion, but it was OTC from Foundation, which is fine. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Japan's $2 trillion payment provider, TIS, rolls out multi-token platform of AVAX. That should be fantastic news. Did AVAX give a shit about that? No. No, it did not. Literally nothing happening on this chart right now. There's your hopium. Hold that line. Hold that line, AVAX fans. Hold that line. No demand for altcoin tokens, to be honest. Very little demand for a lot of altcoin tokens, to be honest. But here we go. Hold that line. Get back over 20-day EMA. Maybe AVAX does something. Man, it's been one of the most crapped on big cap tokens here in a while. That's crazy, man. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out, but it is big news. So congratulations if you're an AVAX holder on that big news. Diamond ARS, in case you missed it, we have, in case you missed it, no. Internet capital market season. In case you missed it. Internet capital market season on Pump.Fund is here. The first internet capital market launch incubated by Dev Fund Pump went live today. Now, we did have this thing, launch coins. People got really excited about, like, okay, you know, entrepreneurs are going to come in and like incubate these cool ideas and blah, blah, blah. Didn't really work out very well for a variety of reasons. Maybe Pump Fund has the distribution network to make that work. Good. Bring more use cases to Pump Fund. Buy more tokens back. Pump the coin. Got some hydration in there. Pump chart, definitely one of the better looking charts right now. Look at this bad boy. It is not doing bad at all. Okay. Of course, we had massive sell-off, but back above the 20-day, back above the 50-day. Okay. Close the daily charts looking like that. Not bad at all. The big move, though, the big move comes when we get back above this orange line right here, which is about 20% or so higher than current prices. So let's say we get up to about here. That could signal a major breakout and a major move incoming for pump that sends it dramatically higher, especially if we get a broad risk on season. Again, everything's lining up for risk taking in the markets. Just, man, the market has, for crypto, been not interested in taking those kind of risks. Nansen shilling some Pengu. Let's go. Pengu showing early signs of strength, $203 million daily volume, solid brand momentum. DreamWorks collaboration, most tokens can only dream of. Smart money, quiet for now, but whales are nibbling around 2 cents. Not bad. Pengu looking like this, still just on the top of this wedge retest right here. Bulls have got to get it back above the 20-day EMA, man. We're trending below all the key EMAs. That's not bullish, that's bearish, okay? Continuing. This, oh, by the way, we got to talk about this. Neo Robot, $20,000. Feel like I got to go below $20,000 on something. Interesting. This is from, what the heck's the name of that company? Escapes my brain right now, but I like this quote here from Isaac Asimov. Then you do not remember a world without robots. There was a time when humanity faced the universe alone without a friend. Now he has creatures to help him, stronger creatures than himself, more faithful, more useful, and absolutely devoted to him. Mankind is no longer alone. Awesome. Very, very cool. These are potentially game-changing robots. I think their delivery is not for like a year or so, so we're still that far out, but they are selling them. You can pre-order them now. Get them in a year. Pretty cool looking robot. Get it to your dishes and your laundry and stuff like that. For 20 grand, it's not a bad deal. We're going to have a lot of humanoid robots coming hit the market pretty soon. Figure AI, Tesla, all these other guys are going to be bringing out a lot of robots in the very, very near future, and that's wildly exciting. The future is literally happening. Things we've been talking about for decades, since I was a young boy dreaming of the future with robots everywhere. Well, it's fucking here. Holy crap. It's happening, guys. Let me know in the comments. Would you guys buy one of these robots for $20,000? There's going to be so many of these things out in the market. It's going to be wild. You're going to start seeing them everywhere. In probably about 5 years, you're going to see these robots like everywhere. They're going to be in cafes. They're going to be just all over the place. It's going to be nuts. What a wild future we're heading into. This image hits hard, man. Neo, what are you doing? Ooh la la. Whoever made this image need a raise, man. That's hilarious. Watch out, guys. Watch out. NVIDIA says humanoid robots will become the largest electronics market. 100%. Dude, this is the iPhone moment. Literally, everybody who can afford one of these things is going to get one for their house. And look, the first model is going to cost, what, $20,000, $30,000? My guess is that within 10 years, you're going to be able to pick these things up for a few $1,000s. You'll be able to get, the cheap Walmart humanoid robots. You'll be able to get, they'll cost, a few $1,000. And if people are going to go out and spend, was it $2,000 or $1,500, whatever, for a new iPhone now, oh, they're not going to splurge on a robot. They're going to buy robots, man. It'll be crazy. It will be nuts. Wild opportunity. Not a lot of public companies you can invest in right now, though. That's the problem. That's the problem, man. Not a lot of robot companies you can invest in right now. Stuff like Apptronic here, they're still private. They have not gone public yet. Figure AI, still private. Pre-market trading is putting this at about $40 billion for Figure AI, which just seems huge for valuation. Apptronic around $5 billion right now. Anyway, Knowing my luck, my robot would come with an attitude. Ah, sassy robots, man. They're going to be so sassy. I'm not buying a robot. No wire backs in this household. Get out of here. Get out of here, robot. Oh, boy. It's been a 19-month downtrend. Yeah, it's been pretty brutal for altcoins, man. Well, Carlton, we'll get back to this ENA question here in a minute. We'll just finish up. Got one more thing I want to talk about real quick, and that's CleanSpark. I've bought this stock, not yet added to the portfolio disclosure. Being told now, disclosures. If you ever want to know what I'd hold, by the way, full disclosures down below, portfolio disclosures. You can see that down there. It's got my current holdings for stocks and for crypto, plus the risk disclosure because investing in crypto is risky. You can literally lose all your money like that. Anyway, we update that every Saturday. CleanSpark's not on there. I've been buying it this week. There you go. Anyway, interesting. CleanSpark selects Submer as its first strategic partner for AI data center expansion in North America. Let's effing go. Boom. Chart so far not looking wildly fantastic. Had a great run up here from $9 to 20 some bucks. It's had a nice move this year, but it hasn't actually been that dramatic when you compare it to what's gone on with some of the other stocks and stuff like that. If you look back to really, let's say, pre-Trump madness here back in December, it's really only up 50-60% from that point. Or if you look back from sort of right around here when all the tariff drama started happening, it's only up about 100%. So compared to something like Irene Energy, which has moved up like 10x already from the market lows, this is only up a little over 100%. So it's not that crazy, actually. One of the reasons why I said, I'm going to nibble a position here, just trying to channel my inner Paul Tudor Jones, where he said, if you like an idea, just fucking buy some and then figure out the rest later. You can always add more, but get yourself a little bit, get a nibble, get a taste, and then you can figure it out. Okay. Paraphrasing him, but that's the general vibe of it. Currently, it's defending the 20-day EMA here. It has it's about 20% under the recent highs. Lots of good news keeps coming out. Downtrend in effect on the MACD, RSI cooling off a bit here. So I'll probably keep adding in a bit to that one. If prices go, let's say, dramatically lower, we'll nibble in a bit more on that too. By the way, guys, if you want to get my free newsletter, it's awesome. Links right down below. We cover crypto, trade setups, airdrops, DGEM play of the day, stocks, altcoin reports, stock reports, all kinds of stuff. You guys love it. Check it out. Link down below. It's free. So somebody want to check out Athena. Let's check out Athena real quick. Let's have a look at the ENA charts, actually. We can do that as our first question. But before we do that, hydrate. Gotta get the red light hat going. Ready. So, ENA USD. Athena has been pretty decent, man. I got to give it to it. It's been pretty decent. Decent uptrend has kind of formed up here. Losing it currently, which is not fantastic. Bulls want to put this back over the 20-day EMA. Now, we ran all the way from here at 34 cents right up to the 50-day and the 200-day EMA getting rejected there, which is not great. Not fantastic. That being said, you often get rejected on the first attempt to break back out above these lines. So if we consolidate around here on the 20-day EMA and then grind up a bit later, fine, okay? Right now, trading under the 20-day EMA, which is not bullish. That's not bullish. Nothing good happens under the 20-day EMA, certainly not under the 50 or the 200. So bulls need to step it up a little bit here. We do have the fee switch coming, the rev share switch coming. So they're going to have much better tokenomics soon here for Athena. And it's just one of the most dominant stablecoin platforms in the market right now. So definitely something worth paying attention to here. I've got a bag. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, you know what? Have a look at Hype as well, I think. Let's have a quick look at Hype. Hype USD. Man, Hype's been killing it. Look at that chart, man. Beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. See right here, beautiful breakout. Nice consolidation around the 200-day EMA. Been one of the most powerful charts in crypto, one of the most powerful assets in crypto. Beautiful. Beautiful. I faded at $3. Now I just have to cope and watch it go higher. Fantastic. Market gave a lot of great opportunities on this one to get a clean 10, 20x in the last year. There has been money made in altcoins, okay? There have been opportunities out there relentlessly in altcoins. Currently trading above the 20 and 50-day EMAs, one of the better looking charts in the market right now. You've seen some of the other charts we looked at today. A lot of them do not look this good. This looks really nice. With their equities that they're bringing on chain for basically decentralized markets for trading all kinds of different stocks. I think they just have the S&P 500 right now, but they're probably going to bring in all kinds of stuff soon. So definitely not one to fade, especially the chart looking like that. Now, if you're saying, okay, well, I want to get a position, watch for 20-day EMA retests. That's probably the long opportunity on this chart moving up. There will be dips. There's always dips. Okay. Continuing. Keep telling everyone not to sleep on hype. My best move this year. Yeah, it's been an absolute just raging coin this year. It's had wild price performance. Lark, aren't you concerned once we finally get labor market data, it's going to be game over? No, I don't think so. Look, maybe that's going to spook the market again, but we're getting rate cuts. Okay. Labor market data comes in bad. We get more rate cuts. Layoffs are happening. This is part of the problem too. AI is going to lead to a massive unemployment crisis. Now, the jolts, I think, is still like 7 million open job listings or something like that. So there's that going. But people don't want to do those jobs. People want to, be whatever white collar job they had, some big company, but AI and robotics are taking those jobs. And that's going to lead to a massive financial crisis at some point. Not quite yet. But you can see the cracks are starting to appear. Did the Solana ETF do better than ETH ETF day one? Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't think Farside has that much historical data on ETFs. This is the site that it's usually used to look at. So I don't know. Let me see if they've, I'm just going to check here. Oh yeah, it goes all the way back to 2024. Here we go. Here we go. All right, have a look at this. So it does go all the way back to 23 July 2024, day one of trading. Okay, we had $106 million in inflows. We had $500 million outflows from Grayscale, which really muted the launch. Plus, July was a terrible month for crypto in 2024. This was like days before the freaking Japanese yen carry trade crisis. So also we had the fact that Gary Gensler approved the ETFs for ETH because he couldn't really not approve them. But then he delayed their launch by like a month or so. So the market kind of lost interest and all the hype that had built up faded. And the outflows from Grayscale were absolutely monumental in the first couple of weeks. And you can see here about $2 billion outflowed in the first couple of weeks of trading here. So it's pretty epic. And then trading slowed absolutely down. It's basically red only for a very, very long time. And down to the point where basically nothing was happening. A little bit of uptick in November, massive out days again, a little bit of an uptick here at the end of November. So we had some moves in December, but really the ETH ETFs really struggled for a while until we saw Tom Lee and stuff start buying big time. But we did have $100 million in inflows on day one. But again, if you consider the size of the market cap, it would be the equivalent of ETH having had $280 million inflows in on day one. So let's see what happens. Obviously, this is a big move. This is a very big moment for for Solana. And we don't have as much overhang from Grayscale. Okay, so that's going to make it a bit better, in my opinion. As long as the risk markets keep holding up, man. How does what the heck is LCX? Hold on a second. The ticker sounds familiar. Let me have a look. LCX. Oh, yeah. It's an ancient one, man. Oh my gosh, $500,000 daily trading volume. It's not even worth looking at, man, in my opinion. $500,000 trading volume for a market cap $100 million coin. Probably mostly trading on. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Look, that's not fantastic. Interestingly, Coinbase has got the most sort of volume here for this. about 25% versus 24%. Don't know. That doesn't look great. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's a very low liquidity coin, very low trading volume market. Generally not interested in it. Not even worth charting, in my opinion. Continuing. ChatGPT gives a 70-80% chance of QT ending today. Yes, that's also a very important part of the entire Fed meeting is that if they end QT. Now, two equations with QT, okay? And JP Morgan also said that they expect QT to end at this Fed meeting. Whether you can trust JP Morgan or not, who the hell knows, but that is their opinion, okay? Jerome Powell came out a few weeks ago and said, yeah, we're going to end QT soon. Here's the trick, okay? They've already reduced Treasury QT by 80% from 25 billion down to 5 billion, I think. That was significant. So ending Treasury QT would be big. The tricky part is, are they going to end mortgage-backed security QT, which has, again, worth tens of billions of dollars a month. So if they end both those, that's really bullish. If they end just the Treasury QT, also good, okay? What is your take on Bear Protocol? Barachain, you mean? It must be. Look, so many chains out there, man. I think Barachain was super hyped, but realistically, layer ones, layer twos, gosh, we don't need anymore. We don't need anymore. You know, their big play was getting the farming going on and all the excitement built up, but I don't know. It's not something that really captured my interest in any meaningful way, and still hasn't, to be honest. Sui is my largest investment. Is it smart to keep it that way, or should I roll it into another coin for a larger return? John, it's an interesting question. Look, of course, I can't tell you what to do. We don't give out financial advice here, but here's something to think about. Sui absolutely had a great run at the end of 2025. Went from 50 cents to $5 or something like that. Crazy move. They have only got better with their fundamentals since then, right? They're keeping up good on-chain volumes. They got momentum coming soon, which is like their what do you call it? Borrowing lending market, like DEX, stuff like that. So that's a big protocol coming from them really soon. There is a lot of VC unlocks that keep coming through, but that's with all these big VC coins like Aptos and Say and stuff like that. They have these continual big VC unlocks who are up like thousands of % on their investments. So of course, there's always that to contend with as well. It depends, John. I don't know what your portfolio looks like. You know, Sui is your largest investment. Is that just your largest investment in crypto? And you've got like 5% of your total net worth in crypto, but the rest of it's in stocks and real estate and gold and stuff like that. Maybe it's not a bad bet in that regard. If it's your number one investment of all your investments across all things, look, when altcoins take off, this probably does relatively well. We have not been in a risk-on environment for altcoins for a very long time. Trying to roll it into another coin for a larger return means you start affecting your risk ratio, right? Risk adjusted, Sui is probably not a bad one, right? If you say, okay, well, I'm going to sell my Sui and go buy meme coins or some, you know, market cap coins of $100 million and stuff like that, there's a reason why the market's valued Sui at $10 billion or whatever it's worth currently, because they think it's worth it, right? And that's got success potential ahead of it. Whereas some of these other coins are still really trying to make it. And yeah, look, maybe we get mega risk on altcoin season and your money would be better off down these lower cap coins, but you're taking more risks to try to get higher returns. Your chance of losing everything becomes higher. The chance of underperformance becomes higher. The chance of coins rugging or slow rugging becomes higher. So you have to keep that in mind too before you make any decisions about, okay, well, I'm going to go and, you know, jump out of this coin into another one. Plus, if you're in profit right now, you have to take a tax hit as well when you sell. Okay. So there's that to keep in mind too. If you're 200% in profits on this, you're going to have to take the tax hit, then go buy these lower cap coins to take more risk. Okay. What do you think about HBAR with its ETF? I've never been a big HBAR fan. You know, we've looked at it before. We've done videos on it in the past. Never really tickled my fancy personally. That being said, it did have the nicest, we looked at the chart yesterday briefly. Let's look at it again today. It did have the nicest pump off of the ETF news. You can see here, it's actually maintained a decent percentage of those gains, currently sitting just here at the 50-day EMA, okay? So if you're an HBAR bull, man, you got to get us back above the 200-day EMA. You're not alone. A lot of coins are in this ass-kicking kind of situation right now. Momentum really, you can just see, just tapered off so massively from the run back here in July. Big moves up across the board, and just momentum just faded right across everything. Man, you know, never let anybody tell you TA makes no sense or it doesn't work or anything like that. Look where the candle went yesterday, right to the downtrend line. Wild shit. Got it back up to 200-day EMA. This is going to be the breakout, okay? When this line breaks, we've talked about some other coins like Pump and stuff like that. When this line breaks, that's a major reversal of fortunes for the coin and likely sees much higher prices come in on the break of that. Is it going to be your best risk-reward bet in crypto? I have my doubts. But if you already have a bag and you're looking for hopium, it's not looking terrible either. A tax event when you turn your crypto into a stable coin and reinvest, meaning you're only taxed when you convert it into USD. Look, here's the thing. You have to check out your local rules. I am not a tax advisor, but I can say that in most places, here's how it's going to work. If you sell any coin for anything and you're in profit on that coin number one, you will face a taxable event. Okay, so if you sell, let's say Hedera, right? HBAR. You sell HBAR, you're in 100% profit. You sell it for a stable coin, that's a taxable event. Okay, you sell it for USD on an exchange that actually supports direct exchanges into USD, that's a taxable event. You sell HBAR for BTC, that's a taxable event. You sell HBAR for wrapped HBAR, I don't know if that fucking exists, but let's just say it does, that's also a taxable event. Okay. Clark, you mad funny, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. If or when altcoin season, and it's not going to be the altcoin season that you probably want. A lot of this stuff doesn't deserve to do anything, to be honest. Like I've said before, it's probably 100 investable assets across crypto right now. Most of them are absolute garbage. Some of them are going to pump, despite the fact that they're useless governance tokens or bullshit meme coins or whatever. You guys know how the market is. When risk on gets, people get silly, right? But likely, we've actually got a video coming out in about 2 days or so. A lot of the altcoin charts are really bottomed out, especially if you look like others versus ETH, others versus BTC, altcoin season index, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That sets us up for a potential big move for altcoins. So as long as risk on stays, as long as we don't have some like mega epic sell-off after the Xi-Trump deal, markets is anticipating it's going to send everything to the moon, but then we have a sell the news event and stocks close November red, which almost never happens, by the way. Stocks are almost always bullish in November and almost always bullish in December. Okay. So these are the seasonally most bullish months of the year we're coming into. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Lark, do you think privacy and anonymity is important for crypto? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Privacy coins are great. And we're seeing more and more of the layer ones introduce different privacy preserving protocols. It's important, right? If you're going to be bringing the big Wall Street guys on chain, they need to have some level of anonymity in the plays that they make. Plus, it's good for the regular person too. Sold everything last week. Congratulations, Dean. I hope you got some nice profits. It's done. If you have MicroStrategy, get out now. Wouldn't fade Sailor, personally. Doddering, please. I don't know what that means. Lark, I know you love Wormhole. What about the chart? I do have a bag, but I've considered selling. I've been considering selling it recently. The chart, we're gonna have a look at it. Let's go on. What is going on here? We guess why have we got the volumes on here? Anyway, what's going on with this wormhole chart? I'm going to try it for an exchange. Chart's being wonky, but let's just bring it up anyway. Where'd it go? It's gone. Hold on a second. Oh, what's going on with the wormhole chart recently, you know? I don't know. Something happened. The chart's gone. Anyway, I'll give you the TLDR of what my thoughts on the chart were. Needs to hold 7 cents right now. We've seen throughout the big sell-off, 7 cents has established itself as a critical zone for price support. You want to see 7 cents hold approximately, okay? They got all the big partnerships. They're doing more and more with their portal to bring rev share back to token holders and stuff like that. So they're doing a lot of the right stuff. That being said, I've considered cutting the bag just for the sake of, again, having fewer coins in my portfolio. Is Polkadot an easy 50x from here? Brah. Not Polkadot. Yeah, that blockchain is just suffering, man. I wish them well. I really, really do. But it has just been such a rough ride for Polkadot. They're always too late to get tech out. The actual adoption of their chain, the users, it's just pathetically bad. Not saying they can't come back and rage higher and all that kind of stuff, but man. Why is Trump pumping Lark? The secret ingredient is crime. I have no idea. It's wild. Why? The Trump meme coin is back, baby. Look at the charts. Yeah, I just need to open up a new one, don't I? Open a new window, Lark. That's what you need to do. Not we're going to put Trump in either. Maybe it's the internet gods telling me I need to get off the internet. See, there we go. Oh, boy. It is up bigly, isn't it? Look at that. Trump's back, baby. He's back. They must have some big unlocks coming up soon or something like that. Then you get everybody excited again, pump it up, get the market makers rocking on it, and then bam. I'm not taking this bait. I'm not. No, I'm not buying the Trump meme coin. But the one thing I can say about the Trump meme coin pumping like this is that it is indicating interest is coming back into wildly risky bullshit assets like Trump, okay? There may be hope for some of your meme coin bags yet, all right? Have you looked at Avicii? I've seen people talk about it. Man, I have not had time to look at it. But it's on maybe on the list of things to check out at some point. In Poland, you pay 19% every time you go from crypto to fiat, and you pay with crypto. Everything you do inside crypto is considered still being an investment. Interesting. There you go. Again, you always got to check your local tax regime, man. It can vary so much between countries. Like in New Zealand, you get if you provide liquidity, you're going to get taxed on that as a sale if you get a liquidity protocol token back. But if you, for example, put money into MakerDAO, it's Sky now, you don't get a liquidity token back. Therefore, it's not a taxable event. So just dumb shit like that. You got to really make sure you're really much aware of what your local tax situation is. So if I sell any of my coins into Zcash, it disappears. Like then I could turn it into a stable coin and not have to pay taxes. The question they're going to ask is, well, you sold all your coins to the Zcash thing, probably on a centralized exchange, and then you withdrew the Zcash into a shielded address somewhere and it disappeared. They're going to say, well, great, but you owe taxes on all those coins you sold to buy Zcash for. Likely, again, depending on where you live. This is an altcoin season. This is anal sex. You mentioned there are roughly 100 good coins off the top of your head. Rattle off a whole bunch of them. You know, I should make a video on it. Let's just real quick cover the key metas. Does your coin actually have a reason for existence? Okay. Perp dexes, for example, their coins, they got buybacks, they have rev share, stuff like that. Investors like, they tend to value relatively highly. Hyperliquid, great example. Pump fund, great example. Is there a unique value proposition for your coin? Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, maybe Zcash, something like that, right? Then we start going down to, is it sort of a leader in its niche? Is there a reason other people are going to get excited about this at some point in the future? BitTensor, virtuals, stuff like that, for example. Things that are going to struggle and are really sort of, let's say, contrarian bets are going to be coins that like layer 1 blockchain number 30 could moon and be the next big thing. But that's just more of a speculation versus actually being an investable asset, let's say. At some point, it may become an investable asset, but you're trying to take the bet early that, well, I'm going to get in early on this speculation that hopefully becomes something real at some point in the future. I would say a lot of the coins, even in the top 100, are not investable at this point because some of these blockchains that are just around because they have liquidity and they're listed on a lot of exchanges, they're functionally dead. Nobody's fucking using some of these things. Polkadot's a great example. We're not trying to throw Polkadot under the bus, or Cardano. Cardano, no, I mean, very few users. It's wildly overvalued based on its actual metrics. I'm not saying like, oh, Cardano is terrible, I hate Cardano. No, I very much the opposite. I love Cardano. We got 50x on that last cycle. Beautiful. Great coin. Charles, great dude, to be clear. But its valuation based on its current metrics is wildly, wildly high. Anyway, we're gonna finish there. We're up to 50 minutes. We got to make these shows shorter, man. Holy cow. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bye.